A newborn baby crying brought the house back to life. Samuel had finally arrived. His family embraced him excitedly, unable to hold back their tears. But there was someone else in the house. Their loyal friend Louis. With his big brown eyes, he approached the baby, sniffed gently and seemed to stop time. At that moment, a strange silence fell over everyone. There was doubt, fear, and intuition in Louis's eyes. Do you think dogs really sense things in advance? The family thought Louis's behavior was just curiosity. But Louis didn't leave the baby's side for days. He listened to Samuel's breathing while he slept, and he was always the first to run when he cried. At night he curled up next to the crib, watching him without blinking. One night Samuel's breathing was different. Weak, choppy. Louis started barking in panic, waking everyone in the house. The mother immediately took Samuel in her arms, but the baby was pale. They went to the hospital without even waiting for morning. The doctors looked serious. After the tests, the doctor went into a quiet room and looked the family in the eye. Unfortunately, Samuel has a heart condition. It will be a very difficult process. He may not have a long life. At that moment, the mother collapsed to the floor and the father buried his head in his hands. Louis was waiting at the hospital door. He was quiet, as if he sensed something. When Samuel was brought home, Louis immediately ran to his side. He lay down in front of the baby's crib and didn't move. Do you think Louis really understood Samuel's illness? The days passed. Samuel was constantly weak, but Louis was always there. Sometimes he would lightly touch Samuel's hand with his nose. Sometimes he would gently rest his head on the crib. One night, the mother noticed Samuel smiling slightly, for the first time in weeks. Louis was at his bedside at that moment. It was as if the bond between them was not just friendship but life itself. Over time, small miracles began to happen. Samuel stayed awake longer, following his toys with his eyes. The doctor was surprised by this. This is impossible. His recovery at this speed is scientifically inexplicable. But the family knew. The one who created this miracle was that quiet friend, Louis. Days turned into weeks. Samuel began to smile again, to giggle, to make sounds. And Louis? He was no longer just a dog, he was Samuel's closest protector. He walked beside him every step of the way, he was the first to comfort him whenever he cried. Do you think a dog's love can really change a person's life? Share your thoughts in the comments. The family took Samuel back for a checkup. This time the doctor was smiling. This is incredible. Samuel seems to be completely healed. His heart is functioning normally. The mother couldn't hold back her tears. The father buried his head in his hands. How is this possible? The doctor shrugged. Sometimes in medicine there are things we can't explain. But the family knew. Every minute Louis spent waiting by Samuel's side had pumped new hope into his heart. That bond was beyond words. When they returned home, Samuel smiled and Louis wagged his tail. The mother whispered quietly, "Thank you, Louis. You brought our son back to us." From that day on, Samuel and Louis became inseparable. They walked together, they slept together. As the years passed, Samuel grew up, but he never forgot Louis. Whenever he felt sad, he remembered Louis's gaze from that first day. "I'm here." Do you think some friendships are miracles sent to us by fate? If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Because sometimes a dog's love can change a person's whole life. The house was quiet. The ticking of the clock echoed through the room as Lily lay on the soft carpet, her tail gently thumping against the floor. Her eyes were fixed on the front door. She could sense it, someone new was coming. Someone named Mia. Even before the door opened, Lily's nose caught a new scent. It was warm, soft, and unfamiliar. Then the door creaked. Mom walked in, holding a tiny baby in her arms, her face glowing with exhaustion and joy. "Lily, look who's here," she said softly. Lily tilted her head and approached carefully. She sniffed the baby's tiny hand. Mia blinked her sleepy eyes and smiled faintly. At that moment, Lily realized something. From now on, she wouldn't be the center of attention anymore. The days that followed were different. Everyone was around Mia. Mom, Dad, even the neighbors. People kept saying, "What a beautiful baby." But what about Lily? The dog who once filled the house with joy, who everyone called our smart girl, now sat in the corner. Her bed had been moved to make room for baby toys. Her favorite ball rolled under the crib, forgotten. Dog face thought balloon, what would you feel if everyone's attention suddenly turned away from you? Would you be jealous? Or just sad? Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt like Lily? As nights grew longer, Lily's quiet sadness deepened. Whenever Mia cried, everyone ran to her. But when Lily barked, they sighed, "Not now, Lily." One night, Lily crept to the crib and watched the sleeping baby. "Because of you," she thought, "nobody plays with me anymore." But then, Mia's tiny hand reached out. It brushed against Lily's ear. For a brief second, Lily's heart softened. Then she stepped back, confused. Days passed. Mom and Dad began to whisper, "Lily isn't the same anymore. Maybe we should give her some space." And one morning, the family made a difficult decision. To send Mia to a children's care home for a little while, to give everyone some time. Lily didn't understand. She just noticed that the house had become quiet again. The kind of quiet she once wished for. At first she was happy. She played with her toys again. She ate her food eagerly. But after a few days, something felt wrong. There were no soft giggles, no baby cries, no tiny hands pulling at her fur. Pawprint's broken heart. What do you think Lily feels now? Is she finally happy? Or is she lonely? Share your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes silence isn't peace, is it? One night, Lily walked to the empty crib. She pressed her nose against Mia's blanket, taking in the familiar scent. Then she lay down beside it and didn't move for hours. From that day she stopped eating. Dad knelt beside her. "What's wrong, sweet girl? You used to be so happy." But Lily only stared out the window. Mom whispered, "I think she misses Mia." Dad nodded slowly. "You're right. We made a mistake." The next morning they got into the car, and this time they took Lily with them. She didn't know where they were going, but her tail started to wag as the car slowed down. A familiar scent filled the air. Then a little girl's laughter echoed. "Mia." Lily jumped out of the car and ran toward her. Mia opened her arms and shouted with joy. At that very moment, every bit of jealousy, every ounce of distance, it all disappeared. Mia touched Lily's ears and giggled, "Lil 3. Mom wiped her tears. Dad smiled. "They finally found each other again," he said softly. From that day on, Lily was no longer just a pet. She became Mia's protector, her best friend. They grew up together. When Mia learned to walk, Lily followed beside her, ready to catch her if she fell. When Mia cried at night, Lily slept beside the crib, guarding her dreams. Years passed. On Mia's 5th birthday, she blew out her candles with Lily sitting proudly beside her. The dog who once couldn't accept her was now the one she loved most. Sparkles, do you think Lily truly forgave Mia? Or did she simply learn what love really means? Write your thoughts below, speech balloon. And if this story touched your heart, red heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Because every friendship deserves a second chance. Dog face girl, sparkling heart. The sound of a newborn baby